doing on the 19th, along with approving the map, is to adopt the current Atlantic City zoning and planning ordinances, because that's all that there is in place right now, and we have to have something to work with. However, we next week will be going out to solicit bids for a new master planning consultant to join CRDA and consult with the city stakeholders and city representatives on that master plan. And from that plan, for the tourism district specifically, we will then be able to come to develop our own rules, essentially the ordinances for land use regulation in the district. So this slide talks about the first bullet, consulting with the city and other stakeholders to adopt the tourism district master plan. The plan goals are to implement clean and safe initiatives and expand Atlantic City's boardwalk area, facilitate investment of private capital that promotes economic development, makes use of marina facilities, increases economic development activity, develop the boardwalk area, the marina district, and non-gaming family-oriented tourism-related activities. So that's, yeah, I think that's good news.
Yes.
I really do. And the senator talked about where are we currently with our casino industry. Obviously, with other venues opening up with such proximity and such number, our convenience gaming market has really been lost. And that's okay, because we're so far ahead of those other venues. We have so much more to offer here in Atlantic City. They're not going to be able to have their own beach. They're not going to have their own back bay. We have, at Boardwalk Hall, the #1 mid-size entertainment venue in the country. Our beautiful Boardwalk Hall. CRDA's made $100 million in investment over the past 10 years in the inside of Boardwalk Hall, and we're looking now at the outside of Boardwalk Hall because it's got to be more beautiful than it is right now. Non-gaming, family-oriented attractions is what's going to be able to keep us ahead in the tourism marketplace. We need Atlantic City to be the destination. When you talk to people who are coming to Atlantic City, listen to what they say. Too many times they say, I'm going to the Hilton, I'm going to Borgata, I'm going to Showboat. They're not saying what we need to hear. They need to say, I'm going to Atlantic City. I'm going to be there at the resort. People say, I'm going to Las Vegas, I'm going to Palm Springs. They go to those destinations because the area itself, the city, is the destination itself. So the plan will look at the tourism district, and it will say, where are the current active land uses? What have we got in our inventory right now? Gaming, non-gaming, whatever the condition is. And where are the underutilized assets, whether they are structures or whether it's vacant land. But what's currently underutilized that we should really look at how that physical asset along the boardwalk and in the tourism district can be expanded. The whole goal is to expand Atlantic City's tourism base, to offer more, so that people, when they come here, they could feel very comfortable parking in CRDA's new parking garage, which is going up right now. You'll see the stair tower at Fairmount, Mississippi. Let's have them come and park there, and on a beautiful day feel very comfortable about walking the city, and maybe making their way over to the boardwalk. But if we can get this done properly, and we think we can, some of what we're working on right now, the Arts District for Mississippi Avenue, bring in new retail-oriented arts, and continue to expand our offerings here. The rodeo last weekend was a great example of that. How do we become more attractive to more people? And while people are here, it's great that they go to the casinos, but let's make sure that we have a broader range of opportunity here. The other thing that we must do is create the Atlantic City Tourism District Advisory Commission. That advisory commission is to provide input to the CRDA board. That commission will be established by this action of the CRDA board this month. We are not naming names. What we are doing is setting up the structure. And it's very, very important that that commission have a good representation of the Atlantic City residents. And I can tell you that the options that we're looking at it, how to constitute it, it will be majority represented by citizens of the city. The function specifically of that commission will be to overview CRDA's mission and our budget and provide recommendations directly to the CRDA board. After 2 years, we have to audit the plan to determine its effectiveness and make necessary changes. So let's not just start going and never look back. Let's say, did we do it? Did we have the right impact? And if not, what do we need to change so that we have a bigger impact? One of the things that's important here is that we not just blindly go forward, that we look at what are definable goals. What does Atlantic City want to do? Do we need to increase tourism visitors by 30%, 50%? Do we need to have a certain amount of capital investment and a certain percent? The goals have to be defined if in 2 years we're going to look back and say, were we successful? That will be part of the master planning effort. Tourism District Administration and Management, we will be overseeing and redeveloping the implementation of the Tourism District Master Plan. Promote economic and general welfare of the Atlantic City and the Tourism District. Review and approve any Atlantic City program for municipal financial assistance to a development or redevelopment project. Coordinate and collaborate with the city on code enforcement, planning, and zoning. Administrative operations relating to the implementation of the Tourism District Master Plan, and devote all available assets and revenues to the Tourism District and community development in Atlantic City. So that's a lot of administrative language, but the basic is that, number one, in terms of CRDA, the legislature and the governor has told us that although you have in your original statute, you have the requirement to do projects in Atlantic City, North Jersey, and South Jersey. So in our portfolio, you'll see that we've done projects in Cape May, Trenton, Newark, Jersey City, a number of locations throughout the state. Clearly, the message to us is Atlantic City is your priority. So in terms of our staff and our financial resources, it's Atlantic City first. The other thing that's important here is that the statute specifically says that we are to implement projects in the tourism district and throughout the community in Atlantic City. So a lot of people have been very concerned that we are going to only work to the success of the district. That simply can't be the direction, because it wouldn't work. We recognize that, and the statute specifically says we're to continue our work to advance both. If you look at just the geography of Atlantic City, you have to go through a neighborhood to get anywhere to the boardwalk. So those neighborhoods are important. Right now we've got way too many people who are feeling like they're not part of the tourism industry here, that they're disenfranchised, that the promise of casino gaming hasn't given a return, taxes are too high. We have to address these issues, and we have to address them in a united function. CRDA on the issue of the taxes, CRDA doesn't have control of any city functions through this, through S11, through the Tourism District Law, except for the planning and zoning function, which I talked about. All of the assets of the city, in terms of taxes, in terms of land ownership, Bader Field, all of that, that remains unchanged. But what does need to change is that where it says that we are working in coordination and collaboration with the city, that's essential. It's absolutely essential, because we're partners. And I welcome the Councilman. We've had great projects done in the past. He's always provided great input to the CRDA. And it's essential that the city is able to be at the table with us, and we at the table with the city, to be able to focus on the needs. Land use regulations and approval. CRDA will collaborate with the city and other governmental units to adopt the design guidelines that I spoke about and the land use regulations.